Hey everyone, so I've got my little brackets that I designed. I don't know if you can see it here or not. Maybe right here you can see one of them. Let me move my other camera a little closer so you can maybe see it a little better. So I designed these brackets to mount the glass plate because there's nothing for mounting the plate that comes with the kit. I don't know if you can see it here, but right here is one of the little brackets that I made. So I designed those. I uploaded them to Thingiverse. They're just basically little L brackets. I designed it with enough, large enough for an M3 cap head screw, and I designed it so the cap head will actually insert and be flush with the surface of the bracket. So, like I said, there was nothing that came with the kit. These brackets, obviously, they won't last very long, unfortunately, because I didn't think about it when I printed them, but I printed them in PLA, so they're going to start to melt and change shape and do everything else over time. I'll eventually reprint them in PETG probably, and that'll work out much better. But, I was just doing prototyping, checking the design, making sure the design worked. I've tightened my belts now on the printer. I published the link to Thingiverse for these brackets. So I listed it underneath the details. You can see it actually right here on the screen right here. That I listed it down. Oh, wrong way. That I put it on here, right here. It says HTTPS www Thingiverse heated bed glass mount bracket. So that's the mounting bracket for it. I've already saved this information, so this video, which is part 1, has already been published. So that's all taken care of. So that's where I am right now. I think I'm ready to print, but I need to figure out what kind of support there is for it. I don't know if let me close one of these ones. I'll leave the other one open. So I'll close this video capture. I'll open up my Simplify. Here's those brackets. I printed 3 of them. You can see it right there. I printed them on my Prusa i3 using Filament Frenzy's profile, which wasn't perfect because I have the MMU1 on mine, which kind of changes some of the settings a bit. So I need to actually adjust my settings, but good enough. It worked. I got the brackets printed. They're like I got them on here. They're holding the glass plate. They hold it quite well. I actually took my micrometer here, and I measured how thick the glass was. I made sure the height was right. I measured the M3 cap head screws to make sure that they fit correctly, and so that's what I did. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if you saw it well enough, but you can see it there. Anyway, let's see if I can go in here and change and add another printer. Let's see, tool, machine control panel. Not that one, wrong one. I forget where it's at. What I wanted. No. Here, maybe? Machine. Nope, that ain't what I want either. What do they have it on here? Oh, Delta right there. If I need to do it, I can go in here and manually set everything and put it up for what I want. I don't want to do that if I don't have to. I'd rather see if they have it. Configurations. Let's see if I can do it in here. Select a printer. I don't know if they're going to have it in here or not. We'll find out in a minute. Let's see if it has HE3D on here or not. There's GTEC. So no, they don't have HE3D on here. So, okay. So I'll have to go without, obviously. Because even in here, they have a Costal Mini, but it isn't a Costal. Okay, so I'll have to do it manually. And so now I go back into here to tools. Where was it? Machine control? No, not that one. Wrong one again. Shoot, where is it? Just had it and I don't see where it is again. Oh, options, that's what it was. So options, machine, this is a Delta. It is 280. No. How do you do that on a console? I don't get this. I don't know why it's not doing that. Because my height is 600, so I don't understand their settings here for setting that up. Because really it's all, well, X, Y, Z are all the same axis on this, so it's 600, but it doesn't know what my diameter is. So I don't know how to set that. So how do I set that? That's the question. That's not nice. So I need to do some searching for that and figure that out here. Let's see if I can find it on. In Simplify 3D. Let's see if maybe this helps or not. I'd wait for the stupid audio or video. I'm going to shut my other video off so you can see what I'm looking at on my computer. God damn it. Okay, so there we are. We're on this page here. We can skip the ad, and let's see if they have any. Nope, they don't have it here. They aren't showing you how to set it up. Love it. Not what I wanted. So we'll go back. Let's see if it's in here in the simplify groups. Okay, so they're doing it. I see how they do it here now. Sorry. So let's see how that works out with these settings. I'm going to reduce this down a little bit so I can see it while I'm doing this. You won't see it because I'm going to move it onto my other page on where my capture screen is at. So I go back into Simplify now, and I'll go into, it was tools and options and models. No, machine. Sorry, machine. We're going to put a delta in here. We're going to change that to 280. Whoops, darn it. Go back there again. Machine. That's 280. And then this is 600. And there's origin offset, so it's like half the value of whatever the print volume is. So half of 280 is 140. And it looks like you do it twice. Oops. 140. and it's like half the distance of the z-axis value. So in this case, 300. And we'll see how that works out. So I have a tool on my Z. I don't know which, if I need to flip the build plate or not. I don't think I need to flip it. It doesn't work. The delta, so there's no flipping of Y and X and all that. But okay. So we'll go OK on that. OK, and then I'm going to save this in my process. Let's see, can I save that? So I'll save this as save with the new, and I'm going to call this HE3D K280. Okay. That may not have been how to do this. I don't know. Let's go back into options. Let's look at machine. There's nothing in here to name the machine, so I don't know if anybody else sees anything. I don't see anything there. Okay, anyway, so I have it in there, so if I ever need to go to it, I'll just show you how it will work now. Right now it's back at my original, which is a Prusa. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, okay, let's go into my edit process settings. Oh, it lost my settings, didn't it? Ah, because it doesn't know what the printer is. Ah, how do I fix that? How do I define everything new for this? How, I defined a new printer, but I can't save it to the new printer. Right? So that's a problem. I want it to be this. I want the 280. I want the 280. Oops. I want my Z to be 600, 140, 140, 300 models. No. Preferences. Nope. Machine. There. Maybe I can choose a color for my machine, I guess. I don't know. I'll choose blue. I like blue. I chose blue on that. What else can I do? So I said okay, and it does that. Let's click here to learn more and see what it tells me.
We're going to be talking about a neat Simplify 3D feature today that is really helpful if you have multiple 3D printers or if you're designing your own printer. For the software to correctly interface with your printer, it has to know a couple of key things. First, it needs to know some details about the hardware you're using, such as the build volume or orientation. Second, it needs to know how to communicate with your printer, which is typically determined by what type of firmware it's running. Let me show you where both of these things can be set up in Simplify 3D. To start, you can set up your machine settings by going to Tools, Options, and then the Machine tab. If you're on a Mac, you would go to Simplify 3D, then Preferences.
You're not seeing it. You're listening to it, but you aren't seeing it.
On this tab, you can see there's a few important settings. What type of printer it is, such as Cartesian or Delta, and some basic things like the build volume and other settings that define the orientation and coordinate system that you'll use to build parts on your 3D printer. So that's a quick overview of the machine settings. Now let's go look at our firmware settings. We'll go to Tools, Firmware Configuration. This window defines the language that your 3D printer uses to communicate. The most common firmwares are already included. So this is probably not a window you'll need to get into too often. So we'll go ahead and move on for now. What we really want to talk about today is how Simplify 3D automatically manages all these settings for you. So let's do a quick example. There are two printers I'm planning to use today, the FlashForge Creator Pro and the Lulzbot TAS 5. So you can see I already have those two printer profiles loaded. Now for those of you that have used either of these printers before, You may know that they have different hardware specifications, but they also use different firmware. So as I switch between them, different things are going to need to change. I'll choose the FlashForge Creator Pro first. In previous videos, we've talked about how the profiles that you choose automatically adjust the process settings to what's optimized for that printer. But they also changed a few other things. To see this, let's click on the G-Code tab. I want to point out two areas here on the right, the machine definition and the firmware configuration. If you've been paying attention, these should look familiar. If these boxes are checked, your machine settings and your firmware configuration will be automatically updated based on the settings you've chosen. So what's really happening here is we've connected our process settings, machine settings, and firmware settings so that they all change together. All of the profiles you use from Simplify 3D already have this built in, making it much easier to switch between printers.
Looks like what I need, one of the things I need to do, I actually have to go into, say, okay, here, go into my edit processes, go into, where's that? The other? Advanced? No, where's it at? I hate when they do that. Here it is, G-code. So I change that to the Delta and change these things as well, just like I did before. So now we're going to go 280, 280, and 600, 140, 140, 300, okay, and this uses RepRap, Marlin, and RPTA. I believe that's what they're using. I believe it comes with Marlin for this. So that's all set. And then we're going to say update the profile. So now this is my K280. So now I should be able to go between, let's see, let's go back to, there's my Ender 3. So I'll just choose this one here, which is my Ender 3. And say OK. And this should change my Ender 3 settings right here. Now let's go back and say edit process. And let's go back and choose my HE3D that I just created. And say sure, whatever. And then say OK here. And now we're on that. And now I'm going to remove all these stupid parts that are floating in the middle of the air here. Remove. If I import something, where does it put it? Let's put one of my glass mounts back on. So it actually drops it down on the print bed. You can see it right there. This was one of my first attempts at the printing of the bracket. Actually, second attempt at the bracket. Dimensions didn't come out right. That's why I printed in PLA when I started this, was because I wanted something that's quick and easy to print. And so that's why I chose PLA, and that's what I was printing with. So actually what I didn't print it in this orientation, obviously, because I don't want to have support if I don't need it. So I actually rotated this, by flipping my y-axis 180. And you don't see it now, it just hits center and arrange, and it brings it right back up to the print surface. And now it's a fairly flat part to print. And I didn't need any support material that way. Even though there is a little bit slight overhang, it's so small on this that it really doesn't matter. So that's where we are with that. Oh, and I just remembered something on my printer that I need to do, which I haven't done yet. I haven't put the part cooling diverter on there yet. I remember I said I ordered the screws, so let me turn my camera back on here. Right there, maybe right there. Let's turn my camera on. So I have the part cooling diverter right here that needs to be mounted on, and I have, I bought some. They got a little bit of junk inside their hole. I don't know if you can see here. Let me see if I can get it in focus. So they have a little bit of junk inside their hole. That's light coming through my blinds in my room here. Like little holes in the blinds. So anyway, there's a little bit of, I call it, spooge or filling up the hole here on that. So my screw won't go into that, obviously. It's the same thing on both sides. So I also had a little bit of support material in this. So I need to get that out. I'll use my handy dandy pencil here to do that. If I can push that out of here or not. Obviously I can't mount that with that in there. Got that one cleared. Get the other one out. Maybe. Well, there we go. Got it. Yep. Okay, so now it's clear. You can see it's clear. And the other one is also clear. So both of them are clear and empty. So now we're ready. So now I can mount that so that it cools my part. And it's an okay design. They didn't print it very well. You can see it actually has some where it was sagging here on the part. You can actually see it a little bit. So yeah, it's a whatever on that. But it's okay. The part was kind of cool. It only has a little bit of duct opening. You can see it right there to let the air flow out and go to the extruder. So I need to mount this on my printer, obviously, on my unit, and it needs to go like that. Let me see if I can get it on here. Of course, then I drop it on the floor. Let me turn on my other camera while we're doing this. Okay, so you see now I got it all set up. The printer is set now. I actually have a printer inside my program. You saw the part drops down to the bottom. I don't know what I'm going to print yet. Oh, I got one more thing I need to print before I can print anything. I have no place, absolutely no place for my filament. So I downloaded the what do you call it? A filament holder, or what do you want to call it? Spool holder from I'll go back in here. Let's remove that one. Import. Let's go back to HE3D. So right in here, a spool holder. So a 2020 spool holder for a console type printer. So there's a spool holder. So that I will print on another printer, so I don't have to deal with this. And it doesn't matter that it's PLA. Like I said, I have to replace this other one later. So it's designed to actually use the T-nuts and all that kind of stuff so that it can mount on the side of the printer. I need to set that up and print that. But I also need to mount this part. So I'm going to turn on my other camera so you can see that. See the printer. I'll change the orientation of the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Maybe. I need to get on the print head here. Okay, it's right there. I don't know if I can get the camera closer or not. I'm going to try and turn everything and get it closer so you can see a little better, maybe. Get that right there. So that's as close as I can get to it. Let me turn on some lights so we get a little better view of what I'm doing. And that might help a little bit. So, on the part cooling fan right here, there is a plate. There are two holes, and this is designed to line up with those two holes, and it allows the. Let's see if I can get in there. So this goes in like that, and then you put two screws in to hold it, and obviously they need nuts too, not just screws. So I did order the 2mm or M2s. So I got M2s here, and I gotta find my really tiny wrench to work these. I don't think I need that long a screw. That's a little too long. I put the wrong one, the wrong hole, it looks like. No, that's the right one. So I think these might be too small. The 4mm might be too small. So I'm going to use a 6mm M2 screw. So these are actually fairly thick. Darn it. Drop the darn thing and I can't see it. It's so small. The screw is so small. So get in there. Okay, so I got it in this hole, so that may not even be long enough. Actually, I do need may need the first one I had out. But I may need these longer ones. I thought they'd be too long, but looking at how thick this thing is and how much space there is, don't see where that screw bounced off to. I'll find it later when I sweep the floor. Anyway, we need two of those. These are 8 millimeters I'm looking at, and I need two little nuts to go with it. I can grab two of them out of here. And there's two nuts. Close my box so I don't accidentally spill it, because that'd be a real pain. Let me find a small Allen wrenches, because this takes a really small screw head. These are button heads, and the button heads are smaller hex wrenches than the cap screw versions of these. So I got that fits perfectly. As you can see here, it fits perfectly. The screw doesn't just fall off on you. So that will be the one I will use. I'll get this guy up here, and we'll get actually I'll put a screw in it first to get it started. Then I'll get it lined up here and put it into the other one. Maybe. And maybe not. Come on, get out of the way, wire. Fan wire's in my way. Nope, they can let me do that. Why are they fighting me? Why does everything got to fight, you know? Why does everything end up being a fight to do anything? I can't see. If I can get that out of my way for a little bit, it'd be perfect. Okay, get that. Maybe. Okay, did I get through the hole? No, I didn't. Missed it completely. Got the screw out. Get this damn thing lined up. Take the screw now and put it through. And it goes all the way through. There we go. Well, that's almost too small. Now the fun part is, it might be easier to take the fan completely off and mount it first. I think that's probably the thing to do, because looking at how this is going to be, how am I going to get that nut on there without dropping it a million times? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the fan off, and this is probably too big of a wrench here. Yeah, definitely too big. And this one looks like it might be too small. And this is probably the one right here, maybe. So one of these two should work, I think. Yeah. I'm going to take this fan off. And more than likely the screw will fall out on me just because I'm doing this, right? Okay, there's that one. I'm probably in the way of the camera right now. Okay, taking this fan off, the part cooling fan. Okay, so now I got it off. Take that screw out, otherwise I'll drop it and lose it. And I have this other screw on here. I need to get the nut started. I think I'm going to pull this thing down so that I can have a flat table to work with on it. Now I got that screw in place. Now I'll take my little tiny wrench here and I'll try and get it started here on that nut. And it started. Perfect. Okay, so now I got one side on. And now I'll repeat the process. Put the other one on. the other nut in place here. Maybe. What's nice is the nut is actually exactly the same size. It has a little bit of plastic gap on the, almost exactly the right size. That's the gap on the fan for this to mount to, so it actually fits rather well. It does spin. If it was a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger nut, it would work better. But there we go, I got my little part cooler on there now, and now I can put my screws back in to hold the fan back on the side there, and it'll have everything set up for this to cool properly. I'm going to raise this back up again, make it easier for me to work on. Maybe I'm a little higher than I was before. Bring that over a little bit. And now I'm out this fan back on again. And it went like that. And we're going this way. And we'll grab one of these and I'll actually get it in the hole here. I can't even see this, where this, just drop that. I can't even see where it mounts at now. I'm hoping I'm right in the right area. And of course, I touch the friggin' screw and it drops right out. Okay, let's get the wrench in the hole first. Maybe I'll find the mounting hole. Yep, found the mounting hole. Put the first one in. Oops. So I'm going to be in my way here in a minute. I'm going to turn this. That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to got shit in my way here. Come on. I hate when things don't want to participate, you know? They want to be a pain. On that one, I can put a little hole. Come on, get in the hole. There. Got it in the hole now. Alright, so we got that in. It's tight now, so now I got all my stuff plugged in. The other thing I haven't done yet, I haven't leveled the bed. So that needs to happen. There's a little bed leveling sensor. So I'm going to try doing the bed leveling with that. I don't know how it's going to work out. You know, I really don't. I'm going to try moving this over and see. You know, I don't know how it's going to work. Let's put it at that. Let's see what happens with the assisted bed leveling, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to go into the menus here. Maybe I should move my other camera. No, I'll bring this camera over here. I'll grab it off the tripod and bring it over. And I'll try and get it in a position where you can see the display here. So there you can see the display. Not perfectly focused, but it's maybe I can focus it. So that's a little better right there. And let's see. I don't know if it has a auto bed leveling. So I guess measure Z. So it's going to take it all the way up to the top. Let me turn my camera a little bit so you can see what's happening on that side. So it's all the way up to the top. It's zeroed everything. It's coming all the way back down now. I'm going to put this one I think it's going to be right in this area here. That's coming down right now. I don't know why they decided to go so slow. They could have come down a lot more with that and had it do the same thing. Get this thing targeted here. Yeah. Turn my camera down just a hair. As you can see, I'm moving. Got the little probe here, and I'm trying to get it right underneath the tip of the. And it drags it around and moves it with it, so that's cool. Wow, didn't expect that. Actually, it's pretty cool. It basically does it all by itself. Moves it around the build plate. Now I'll have to do this again later when I move the printer, but for now I just want to get something going, try and print something with it and see what it does. Oh, it just lost it. It just lost it. And now it's fucking me up. Abort! 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 So it popped off the thing, and so then it got lost and doesn't know what to do. So it completely popped, and it's under my print bed. Completely popped off and lost where it was. And so now it's screwed up. Now I gotta start over again. Get my bed back on here again. Get my bed back on again. That was a pain. That was not very good. Unfortunately, this wire is not long enough to follow the whole thing all the way up. Well, maybe it is. Maybe if I temporarily attached it, I don't know what to do with that. It came out from underneath it while I was doing this, and that was not good. That was a bad thing. So I'm going to maybe attach that temporarily to this. I was trying to move it with it, and it pulled out from under it, and I lost it. So maybe if I get this thing under there right at the very beginning with this thing attached like this, it might work okay. Don't know. I'll figure out something later to actually fix it the right way, get this straightened back out here. That was an emergency situation, obviously. Let's try this again. Let's do the auto bed leveling again. Let's go and do it. So go back up to the top here. They'll figure it out when it gets all the Z's. It'll get Z, Z, and then it'll do the third Z as it keeps moving it up until it zeros. Okay, so now I've got all three Z's. It's coming back down here very slowly. I got that a little too close to this. Looks like I got too close there for that. I'll take this off. And I'm going to get a little farther away. Got another tie wrap here somewhere. Another one tie wrap. Another tie wrap. It's a little bit closer to where I want it to be. Maybe. Hopefully before it gets to the bottom. Or it's going to fail. Oh, I missed it. Got it. Missed it again. I was too late. I was too slow. Trying to get this thing to be in the right position here. Let me see if I can get that. Right in there, like that. And then we'll try again. Try again. Measure 0. Go back all the way to the top again. So I get this guy lined up where I want him to start with. I don't want any accidents again with this thing. I'm going to put it right through like that. And that might... Ah, fuck, I fucked up. I go abort. Try again. I just fucked it up. Trying to get the thing in position so I don't have to deal with it later. I get back up to the top again. We'll get this eventually. Working on it anyway. I take my hat off. I don't need my hat on in here. There's no sun in here to burn my head. I pushed on the bottom of the foam and it made the connection. I don't know what that was about. It popped up some weird window on the OBS Studio. Anyway, so we saw how we got the printer all set up now in S3D. Now you're seeing how we're going to do the bed leveling here. I have it in position. So as long as I don't move the printer, this bed leveling should be okay, right? Because it doesn't change the level of anything then. So now that I got that in place, I can carry it around and I don't have to worry about it. So I don't know if you can, I can raise it up and you can see what it's doing here. It's running around the bed, pushing that little sensor, which I have in position so I don't have to hold it. And it just keeps going back and forth across the bed. It does a whole lot of points to do this bed level. So that's cool. Hopefully it does a great job of printing after it does this bed leveling like this. Okay, so you saw how it's working. I'll put it back on the display here so you can see the display. I'm actually going to switch this back to my Prusa, which I have loaded up with filament already, and on S3D. And I'm going to use my let me find my Prusa on here again. Filament Frenzy Joseph Prusa MK2. Okay, say okay, yeah, whatever. And then already set to 0.4. It's got 0.1 layer height. I don't think I need it to be that big a layer height. I'm going to go with 0.2. And then I'm going to say okay. And it lost my part. Even though it shows it as being here. Center range there. Put it on there. Okay, so it's done zeroing or leveling the bed. So I'm gonna move the sensor out of the way. I think it worked pretty good. It just flipped up out of the way and it's not in my way anymore. Of course, it's right next to the damn heating element, which is not a good thing. There. Actually, the heat sink. I'm gonna leave it like that. It's out of my way. Hopefully it won't cause any other issues. I don't know, but we'll see. So there's that. I need to print the spool holder bracket, and then I can go on and then we can try actually try a print. I could probably try a print anyway. I don't know how well this thing will pull the filament into the extruder on this. So I'm not sure how well it grips to do that. So but I have, you know, one of those type of spool holders you can sit on the table. It has little what do you call it? Bearings on it that allow it to turn. It's actually what I have my my 2 kilo or 3 kilo or whatever it is spool of PET G over there. I can use it with some ABS. I don't want or not ABS, PLA instead. And hopefully this thing will pull strong enough to pull it through that. But I've had that problem where sometimes it doesn't pull enough. But of course this is a big roll, so it's a lot of mass to turn. So maybe it's because the mass is so large that it was hard for it to turn it when I was feeding it. I also have a white spool right here as well, of the same size roll. I got a deal on it. That's why I have it. I'm going to let's see. What do I want to do? I don't want something big. I want something fairly small right now because I just want to see it print something. I don't want to get too large and then have it fail if it's too big. So what do I use? What do I use? What do I use? I don't want to use anything I don't want to use anything that has glitter in it because glitter tends to jam fairly easily. So why don't I try one of their spools of filament? So here's ones that came with the printer. I'm going to try one of these and see what it does. I'm going to open my knife up here, my utility knife. I'll cut open this bag and get into that filament. It might not turn on, it might not even fit on the negative. It ain't even going to fit on that, so no, that ain't going to work. I can't use that right now. I need a spool holder to do that. Let me try this marble PLA that I have over here. From Atomic Filament. So this is a marble PLA. So we're going to try this out and see how it does. Let me grab my spool holder right here and I'll put it over here also. Hold up my hardware here so I don't spill it. Get that out of the way. And we'll put this spool here. Maybe I'll turn it on and have it come up. Because it comes from the bottom on this and goes in, I think. Yeah, there's the hole right there. So it comes up and goes through and into this. So I'll put this. Hopefully this will be okay because I've had it sitting up in my room. It doesn't seem super brittle, so it's not all dried out. I'm sitting in my room all the time and not being in a bag with desiccant or anything like that. That was weird. Let's put that in there. Okay, so I've got it sort of in so I can feed some filament. So let's see if I can feed some filament with this thing. So I think it's prepare. Oh, didn't take it. Prepare. Move axis. Hopefully they'll let me do that. Yep, there's the extruder. So I can feed that through. I don't see anything happening. Is it turning? Nope. There. Move axis. 1. extruder. That thing should be turning like crazy and it ain't doing nothing. So my extruder is not turning at all. So my extruder motor is not doing anything. Great. That means I gotta pull the whole bed off and get in there and figure out why my extruder is not doing anything. I have it plugged in, I know I do, and I marked all my stuff. So off comes the bed here. So which one was the extruder? Let's find the map here. And I can't see for shit. No. Extruder E0. So not the closest one to there, but the next closest. Oh, wrong board. That's why. Wrong board. Sorry, which one's the extruder again here? Farthest from the power input is the extruder motor. So this one should be my extruder motor. It just doesn't seem to be doing anything. See, I marked my cables. It says E right there on my cable. I don't know if you can see it. I'll put arrow print. You can see right there it says E on the side of that connector. So I don't know why I'm not why that isn't doing anything. Like maybe the driver is dead. Try it again. Prepare, move axis, move 1 millimeter, extruder, and still I got nothing. Nothing. I know my XYZ works, it's only my extruder that is not working. And I know that's the one. So the question is, it doing anything when I tell it to extrude, to move the extruder? DC voltage. We'll connect that one on ground there. And I'm going to go back in. I'm actually going to set this again. And I'm going to move axis, 1 millimeter extruder. I'm going to turn this up a whole bunch. So hopefully I'll see something happening here. Go to ground here, and can I see anything on any of these? I'll unplug that wire. I'm going to go to 3.4, 3.2, 3.4, 3.4, 3.4. Everything's 3.4 to ground. Is it an AC signal? I didn't think it was. But maybe it is. Nothing there. Nothing there. Oh. Had something. Oh, let's see. It's just blipping because it's seeing DC. So I'm not seeing anything on that when I do that. That's not good. question, I don't know. They pop the take my cable out here, pop the little protective cover that's covering this. I'm going to pull this thing all the way out, get to where that is, put this away, out of my way for right now. Now I got my cable out. So it's wired exactly the same as all the other motors, so I don't think there's any problem with that. Because they were all the same. I just grabbed one and plugged it in. So that makes me wonder about the driver. Let me unplug this. So now it's turned off. Let me unplug this driver board if I can. Take that driver board out. I don't see anything wrong with that. It was plugged in exactly the same way as all the other ones. It all looks good. Plug it back in again. Let's plug that back into the board there. We can power it back up again here. I happen to have other drivers, so I'll see if maybe a different driver will fix the problem. I'm hoping that that it's something relatively easy to fix here. Let's try it again here. I should take the motor. I'm gonna take the motor off the side so I can get to it here and play with it. So I'll take the whole extruder assembly off of the unit here. Well, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Okay. I need something to loosen that with, because I can't get I can never get the tubes to pull out. They use these cheap ones, and I can never get the tubes to pull back out after I get them in. So then I end up having to take the damn fitting off in order to get it to come off. Okay. Get that off. Unscrew that guy. Unscrew. I'm going to take the filament out because obviously it's not going to do anything for me. And I don't have the right size T handle for this. And my other T handles, I must have put them away. Damn it. Where's my other T handles at? My T handles have disappeared. Wait, nope, not there. Shit. Not in here. There are T handles in here, but they're definitely not the right ones for this. This is way too big, I can tell already. That's too big. That's too big. That's too big. Right size? Nope, that's just a little bit too big. Where'd my T-handles go? Ah, really? That looks too big there too. Oh yeah, that's way too big. It's way too big. Put them in the same place, put them all together instead of being in separate places. This looks too small still. Yeah, this is turning in the thing and not actually turning the part. One key handle I need, I can't find right now. I have the other two that I used before, but I can't find the one. That's not nice. Well, find a different thing to use then. Use this guy right here. Yeah. Wow. I have it on a really tight. Okay. Now I got it loose. Now I got the motor off. Okay, so now I got the motor off so that I can sit here and mess with it outside of the off the printer. So we'll figure this out in a minute. Let's try this again with it off the printer. Let's see. Prepare. Oh, that's really good. Right there, maybe. Move. One. Extruder. And absolutely Zippo. Nada. Doesn't do a damn thing. Totally dead. So. I need to go dig through some stuff and find another cable. But I could try another driver in the meantime, maybe. Let's see, where's my other driver at? So let me go find another driver. We'll try another driver here. I'll unplug it so the power is dead. I'll grab another driver. It's in the garage. Not here. I moved it. Down the garage. Not in that room anymore. Okay, so I thought, well, I have to take partially disassemble another printer to get the driver off of it. So I said, well, let me try another cable first and see if that resolves the issue. So I'm going to try this other cable and see if that helps or not. And we'll plug this guy in. And plug it into here. Maybe. And then we'll turn it back on again. Oh, it's out of focus again. This thing is really touchy on its focus. Okay. Another cable in. We will see what happens when I try and drive it again. Prepare. Move axis. 1mm. Extruder. And nothing. So apparently either the driver is bad. I don't think the board's bad because all the other ones work. What I could try is swapping the driver. That's what I'll do. I'll swap it between one of the other ones and see if it works on another one. And see if that works. Okay, got that one out. Could have a bad board still too, but you know, if I don't try something different. I'm going to put the one that's suspected bad back in the other spot now. And we'll try it again here. Turn that on, prepare, move back. Oh, you know what it might be? I forgot about that. I'm being a dumbass. It won't extrude until I come up to temperature. That's what it's doing. I'll bet you. See, control, temperature, nozzle. Let's bring that. I don't want to bring it too high. I just want to bring it high enough that I can extrude with. So I just turned on the heat to the nozzle. Let's go back up and see where we are. So it's heating up right now. As you can see, we're up to like 51 degrees, 54 degrees, so on. I've forgotten that it's a fail-safe. It can't feed filament unless it's heated because you can't push the filament through a cold extruder, through a cold nozzle. So through a cold hot end. So it's warming up. I don't see the fan coming on, or yeah, it's on. Okay, fan's on. Okay, so up to 180. Hopefully that's enough temperature that it will. It just overshot 180. It's just running away. So the thermistor is not doing its job, that I can tell. Oh no, it's coming back down now. Wow, it just really overshot the heck out of that. Anyway, I should be able to extrude now, right? Let's go and prepare, move axis, 1mm extruder, and yes, the motor turns. Okay, that was me being a dumbass, obviously. Okay, so everything appears to be working on this. Quit being a dipshit and it'll work right. Okay, let's put this back together again. Oh, the wire's out of the way. Put that back in the hole there. That in the hole there. And that's in the hole there. Okay, everything's in the hole. I am going to re-level because I did all this bullshit and screwed it up probably. So we're going to go back to auto bed leveling. I'm going to go back into control. Faster way. Just turn it off. That way, just turn the heat off. And I'm going to mount this back while I'm waiting for it to cool down, because I definitely don't want it to... Oh, let me put my other cable back. So this cable came from another printer, and I don't want it to be left in here. Get that out. Because obviously that wasn't the problem. I was just being a dumbass. And what do I do with it? Oh, there it is on the floor. Okay. That says E on that end, and that says E on that end, and this is the 4 end. And I need to move this out of my way. I have to reroute my cable over here. Let's see if I can get that underneath the power supply here or not. And underneath all this other stuff that's in the way. And get it over here. Maybe not. Get under all this. Okay, I got only one set of cables here. Jeez. It's not that difficult here. And I need to bring it through. I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to unplug it because I don't want it to accidentally go somewhere I don't want it to go. I don't need that at all. So I want to get this. That. Need to get that connector to go up and through where I want it to go. And this has such a short cable on this heated bed, so I can't really move it too far from it, or it will end up on the floor. Put that in my toolbox. Where's my cable? There it is. I'm going to get the cable here near the edge, so that I can get it up here in between. Of course, it has to go right into the slot, you know. Man, you know, if I was trying to do that, it wouldn't do it. But if I'm not trying to do it, it's gonna do what I don't want. There. Now I can pull that cable through. Okay, let me bring that, plug them back in, get it back up here. Put my extruder back where he goes. Right in here. That one's done. And that's done. Okay, so now the extruder is mounted back on. I'll worry about dressing the wire up later. That plugged back in. Oh, wrong way. Plug the motor back in. Come on. There we go. Put the fitting with the Bowden feed back in again. Put everything back where it was. Put my heated bed back. There. That, come on, get in the hole there. And of course it wants to be a pain in the butt. That'll go. I heard it slide. Okay, so now I got all three back in place again. Okay, so that's sort of done. Grab another tie wrap for this cable to get it kind of out of the way here. I don't know if it's long enough though. That's but I don't want it dangling into my work area. Okay, let's see, you got that, let's get this centered back up again. Get that centered back up again. Plug this guy back in again. Put this guy back down so he can bed level again. Maybe. Alright. I'm going to re-bed level again. I feel I moved everything and I took the bed off. I did all this other stuff. Prepare leveling. Begin leveling. I'll re-level again. Let it do its thing again here. I'm going to meter off so I don't kill my battery. So now you got to see me being a dumbass when I was doing this and not remembering that you have to have heat before you can extrude. That was pretty stupid. But it happens. Okay. Just ready here to try and feed again. Instead of me being an idiot again. I don't know if this can go up a little bit higher or not, but what I need to do is this. Okay, so we're done leveling. I'll move that back out of the way again. So it doesn't get in, doesn't fall in my print. Going all the way back up and resetting everything. That's going to come about halfway down and stop, maybe. Maybe, maybe not. I guess it's going to come all the way down and stop. What is it doing? What is it doing? What the fuck is that all about? Why did it decide to do that? I don't understand why it did that. I didn't have to print anything. And it's all done is dancing all over the damn place. I don't know what was going on with that. But I'm going to redo that bed level again. I don't know why it did what it just did. That was very weird. Get back in there again. Pain in the butt. Ow. Let's try it again. stay there. No. Why? Why are you not going to stay there now? Ah, man. This thing is just a pain. I guess I shouldn't have tied the other one on there, because when I tied it on, it created a force moving the tip around on me. And now it just came off from there again. Not gonna stay for me. It's funny how you do it one time and it stays perfect. The next time around it doesn't stay. What's going on? Why is it doing this? Ah, I don't fucking get it. I don't understand why it just suddenly decided it doesn't. Now, oh, god damn it. Ah, fucking shit. Son of a bitch. God damn son of a bitch. Really? You know, fuck. It's not one damn thing, it's another damn thing. You know, it decides it gets all the way over here and it's going to pull it out from the thing now. What a pain. What can I do to keep it in the right position until I'm ready to print? Oh, where is it? Oh. And of course it's going to... I'm going to cut that part out, by the way. You aren't going to see that. Is that going to work? Pick it up? Yes. Okay. Try again. Bed leveling. I'll edit this video and get rid of that part where I cursed. Okay, so we are ready to print. The filament is fed through. We're ready to try and print. I put the what do they call it? The spool holder code on here. I'm going to start this up and heat the bed up right now, so it's going up, working its way up to 60. The temperature for the nozzle is set to 210. Hopefully that works okay with this filament. We'll see what happens. I haven't, like I said, this will be my first time printing with this printer. I might want to put something on this print bed for this to stick to. I don't think it's going to stick otherwise. So I'm going to grab a glue stick here. I'll move this up a little bit, move this one up a little bit, get out of my way. Maybe move one of these like that, out of my way. Nope. Again, move the whole thing up again, like that. And we'll, I don't know which way it's going to print. I think it's going to print this way. So I'll put some glue stick on here. Hopefully this will print and stick to that. I don't know what's going to happen with the glass. This is like a new printer. I never worked with a Delta printer before, so this is a first. You're watching it here. I just want to see it start. That's my main goal right now. Get started. It's now almost done heating the bed. It says it's 60, but it's obviously not. Okay, yeah, it's at 60 now. Now it's heating the nozzle up. Hopefully it works. Cross my fingers. And yeah. It's supposed to know where it is right now, so I see it's spewing a little bit of filament out of here. It's oozing out. I can see it there coming out in the stream. It's got enough back pressure in this damn thing to keep it oozing. I have to do something about that because it's still just oozing out. I don't understand why. Shouldn't be. Okay, it stopped. Just had enough filament in there that's just going to ooze for a little while. Okay, so I got glue on there. I got the filament loaded. There it goes. It's going to move it up the top now and check the zero for everything. Bing, bing, bing. And something just went wrong. Why? Why did it do that? I'm not sure what that was all about. It was trying to move the head over at the very beginning. What it needed to do is it needed to come down first after it did the zeroing, and instead it tried to go all the way over to where it wanted to print from right at the very beginning instead of going to a zero. What I should have done was come down to the center of the plate. And that's going to crash into the bed, I can tell. Yep, there it goes. Crash, crash, crash. Crash, crash, crash. It's dead. Reset. Well, that didn't work with a shit, did it? Well, that sucked ass. That should not be doing that. That should have just done what I wanted it to do, which is... ow, fuck, that's hot. Well... that was not good. I don't understand why I did that. It might be the starting code that I have it set to. I don't know, because the starting code is not the code it should have been. Obviously, it should have been something else. There was already, because basically I started with the filament frenzy setup, I think, and so then it did this. So it does the home all. Oh, it's trying to do bed mesh leveling again. Ah. Damn it, it should have been bed leveling. Oh, because that was the Prusa stuff for that, I think. I don't know what the codes need to be for this to start. I don't get it. Oh, sorry, Control Z on that. I may have to re-level the bed again because it moved everything and not try to ram it into the bed again. Shit. Let me see what it says on the if they have anything in this on that. Here's what it said with auto bed leveling. It does its thing. It does this. You follow it around. It does its thing all by itself. But it doesn't talk about like how to do what kind of script you need. They don't talk about scripts at all on this. Oh, here we go. Printer settings. Because it's not for a. It's for a different type of printer. It's for Repetier, I think. Yeah. That's no good. That doesn't help me at all. Okay, I'm going to stop while you go and figure out how to set up a different starting parameters for this, so a different script at the beginning. I'm going to try and get a different script at the beginning because this is just not working for me right now. It's just crashing into the bed plate again. I got to re-zero everything because I just effed everything up on me. And see if I can figure out what to do. Hey everyone, welcome back. So I've gotten a profile from HE3D for the K280 printer, and I've loaded it into my Simplify 3D, and I'm going to try and print something. So we'll see how this works out. Right now the bed is heating, no sorry, the nozzle is heating up, the bed is up to temperature. I don't know how this is going to work out, we'll find out. I'm doing other things too. As you know, if you're on Twitter, you've seen my post about where I'm, what do you call it? I'm rearranging my garage. So you saw the shelves I'm putting up and all that kind of stuff. So that you see that happening right now. So right now my printer is coming up here. You can't really see it in. Whoa. Whoa. Something just blew up. Wow, that was crazy. Don't ask me what just happened. It just suddenly blew up. Yep. So this thing just smoked. Yeah, wonderful. Great stuff. So what happened, the crash you heard was the, I guess all three of these falling at one time. So my bed heated up, my nozzle was heating, everything was getting ready to go. I can smell something that smells like it smoked. Maybe. Let me unplug. That's just wonderful. Crap. Yeah, the power supply is super hot. So, it's like the power supply may have failed. Obviously not a beefy enough power supply. Right? Let's see if it comes back on or not. I may have to get another supply. This supply is just not, yeah, not going to make it. So, that's just wonderful. Because I'm assuming it's my power supply. I don't really know if it's my power supply or not. I'll have to go through it, but my power supply feels hot. I'm not even on the component side and it feels hot. So much for that. No, I'll figure it out. Great. I just think the power supply blew up is what I think. But I will unhook the power supply and see. I'm assuming the power supply only because I think the heated bed is basically directly run off the power supply is what I think happens. Let me unhook my board so there's nothing else hooked up to the power supply. By unhooking the board, that will isolate me down to just the power supply. And that will, okay, so now there's nothing else connected to it. Let's see if the power supply even comes up, or if it's just dead. Nothing, dead. So now I've got to take the power, got to take this out. Let me put the, look at that. That's already undone. Let's grab a pair of pliers so I can turn that. So, no. Nope. Not there anymore. Oh, might be in the box over there. Oh, these might work. Come on. Alright, so now I got that pulled back out. Now I had it set to 110. There's no kind of circuit breaker on the thing, so I can't do anything about it. The reason I say nothing is not working is because the fan doesn't even come on now. So that, and it smells like something toasted in it. So, obviously this power supply is not good enough. Oh, shit, yeah. Really? Really? Let's see. Well, I think there's a problem. The power supply is way underrated. It's only a 16.5 volt, I mean 16.5 amp, 24 volt supply. I think it's way too small. And that explains why it blew up. So now I gotta figure out what to do with that. I guess I'll contact HE3D and tell them, or RepRapCN as they call themselves. RepRapCN makes the HE3D brand. So that's their website, reprap.cn. So I need to contact them and tell them, hey, your power supply died. I don't think it's rated enough. So anyway, that's where I'm at. It's dead. Thank you for watching. Okay, so what I found out. The power supply that came with the printer is bad. End of story. Because if it was the sorry, if it was the control board or something else bad, it wouldn't be working, and it's working now. It's printing at this very moment. Not perfect because I think I may have changed the bed level slightly, but overall it's printing quite well, or printing anyway. So yeah, sucks. Bad power supply. You know, I hate that. It's like, what the hell? This is the problem, is that you get stuff sometimes from the Chinese companies that's never been tested. They don't verify the power supplies work. They ship it out, and then, bam, it blows up. You know, I made sure that the screws weren't too long, because if they were too long, they would actually go all the way through the case and into the metal on this. But I made sure that wasn't the case with this. I picked screws that were long enough but short enough, if you know what I mean. So, because otherwise I could poke through, short a trace out, and short it to the case, and the case, of course, is grounded, and that would cause a major failure. So I made sure that wasn't the case, and yeah, so it sucks. It's a bad power supply, but luckily for me, I had another power supply, and it's not getting hot. It's not smelling bad like the other one did. I could smell it like something was starting to burn, and so I could tell something was bad. I guess I need to contact HE3D and tell them they owe me a power supply, and then I can get a new power supply to replace it, instead of using the one that I happen to have laying around. You know, it's just lucky that I have one laying around, right? So, yep. So there we go. Bad power supply. So you see right now it's printing at a fairly reasonable pace. I may be over extruding a little bit. I can't really tell, you know, because like I said, it's the first print, so it looks like it might be over extruding a little bit. At first the glass plate was a little loose, so it was sliding around, so I had to tighten the plate up. You know, pull out my wrench and tighten down my little hold downs. But it's nice and tight now, it's not sliding around anymore. So that means part of this, what looks like over extrusion, could have been when the plate was moving while it was trying to print on the first layer. But I had to adjust the layer height. I didn't remember it I forgot to save it. That's what happened. I forgot to save the layer height, which I need to save the settings, otherwise I could lose it again. I don't know if it's in where it's at in the store memory. So I just hold the store memory, and now it'll just sit here and it'll run and it'll print, and hopefully what I'm printing will work. It's the a spool holder for going on the printer. Why not have the printer print its own parts, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. I know you can't tell from looking at me, but I have lost about 10 pounds. Not doing anything special really, because I'm still drinking my beers. But I did stop drinking Coca-Cola, period. The sugars were starting to cause me health problems. So probably it was getting close to being diabetic, and it's better to stop while I'm not diabetic than to cause myself to be diabetic. So I quit all sugar. The first couple of days was rough because I'm so used to having that sugar and caffeine fix. But after that, my health just felt so much better. I felt like, oh my God, I feel great. It's the best I've felt in over a year. So, yeah, so I'm done with sugar drinks, basically. I might have some sugar things once in a while now, but not like I did before. I had Coke every day. Not that I drank a lot of Coke, maybe 2 bottles of Coke a day, you know, like a 20 ounce and a 12 ounce bottle of Coke. That's typically what I drank a day, but it was still causing me a lot of issues. So I'm glad that that's taken care of, because it was really causing me some problems. Anyway, I thought I'd talk while I'm doing the print. So now you've seen the printer working. It actually does work. I'm glad I had another power supply laying around to be able to try, because that really helps to solve the problem. I just have it laying here on the table. You can see right here, it's just laying there on the table right now. It's not attached to the printer, because I just want to try things out, because, well, if it blew up, then I can say my control board has a short or something that's causing the supply to blow up. But since it hasn't caused a problem yet, and like I said, I don't smell the smell. I can smell electrical burning smell with the old power supply. So I wasn't sure if it was the power supply before or the control board before, so that's why I haven't done anything with this yet. So I will take care of that later. But I'm happy that it's now working and we are printing. It does remember my bed level that I did level, so that's great. It just didn't remember my Z height. And so it was like just scraping across the bed. But luckily it's glass, so it's not really going to do damage to the glass, because it's not a diamond or anything. But I just went in and I tuned it to bring it up higher, and it took care of the problem. I had measured it before, and I thought I forgot to save it. Like I said, forgot to save the setting. But that's okay. Shit happens. So there you go. You've now seen the printer working. You've seen me assemble the thing. You've seen the modifications that were required in order to get it to print. And hopefully, now that the glass plate is locked down, hopefully this will make a nice part. It prints fairly quickly. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the bed leveling sensor is still attached to the printer. I just kind of flip it up out of the way and behind a couple of wires to hold it out of the way. So the bed level sensor just sits there. And then I can flip it down later if I need to check my level again, which I will need to do when I put it out in the garage with all my other printers. Since I've now vacated all my other printers out of this room, the only printer in here is the one I just built. So you see, right there is where my Ender 3 used to sit, on top of that chassis right there. It's a computer chassis. So that actually is a working computer, a fairly older one, but it will still work. It'll still run like XP. It might run Windows 7, I'm not sure, but it has all the RAM in it. It has a hard drive. It has CD-ROM in it, and I got it for free because they were getting rid of these because they quote weren't supported anymore for like Windows 7 when our company upgraded to Windows 7. So I got that for free, which is nice. Free is always good. And to have a basically industrial rack mount is what that is. It's set for a 19-inch rack. That we use those for our test systems at work. But newer ones now, obviously. So yeah, so I got that for free. I have two more sitting on the floor over here that I can put together and use. One of them, the CD-ROM is broken. With the other one, the CD-ROM is good. They both have hard drives in it. They both have RAM. They both have the processors. So everything else about them is good. I can build up a couple more computers. Someone was saying about running an Octoprint on a Linux computer. So I'm actually thinking very seriously about doing that, because I think that would maybe solve my speed problems I'm having and causing my Octoprint to fail. I guess I should turn the camera back to me, huh? So yeah, so I did all this stuff to try and fix, like that Octoprint was giving me a problem running on the Raspberry Pi. It was having layer shift issues with it. So I said, okay, well, what I did was I actually had it hooked up. I had run some prints. Things seemed to be okay for a while. I was running it, like printing from SD card only. And so maybe it's a bad Raspberry Pi board. Maybe it's just gone south on me. So I'm thinking about just popping out the SD card that's in it, which has all the operating shit in it, and popping it into another Raspberry Pi board that I have, and see if that fixes the problem. If it does, great. If not, well, I'm no worse off than I currently am, right? And then I can look at doing a Linux system on one of these two boxes and loading Raspberry roll the octo print onto my computers and use the computer to run everything. And then I'll load Cura and the new Prusa slicer on, and all that onto this computer as well, because that'll allow me to be able to use the different slicers, because you can't use S3D unconnected. So this one's not going to be connected to the internet because I just don't have any place, any way of getting the cable down there, and I don't want to buy a wireless connection for the computer. I say that now, but I may change my mind and doing it anyway. I'm rambling here, as you can tell, since this is basically the end of this build. But yay, it works. Now we'll see what the quality's like. That's the real issue, right? How good is the quality on a $320 Delta printer? So that's what this one cost. $324 is what it cost me. And it's a 600 millimeter tall. So I'm printing something very small right now because I just want to verify it prints okay. And I do have a plan for what I want to print with this. Actually, it's something my wife wants me to print for her. So I needed something much bigger than what I currently had. So this is double my current print volume, which was the CR10, because it's 300 millimeter. This is 280 by 600 millimeter. So 280 diameter, 600 millimeters tall. So that's pretty big. And still, what she wants me to print is going to be printed in pieces, because that's how big this thing she wants. But I didn't want to sit there and print 30 pieces of something when I could print, 15 pieces, or 5 pieces instead of 10 pieces, or whatever. Depending on how I have to break what she wants me to print up. I'm not going to talk about what she wants to print until I print it, because there's a lot of stuff that has to go into it before I do that. I see anything else? I think that pretty well sums up everything. This is the K280. I do not have an Amazon affiliate link, so I'm not trying to sell anything. So you'll notice I may put links in there, but I don't have an affiliate account. So I'm not hyping it, I'm not pushing it, I'm not trying to get people to buy something and make me money. That's not what this is about. This is a hobby for me. I'm doing the videos to hopefully be instructional and helpful and show people what kind of problems exist out there, like this printer, all the problems and the things that are missing. I mean, this is something that's been missing for a while. I know other people have built this printer and they are missing the same things that this is missing. The way to hold down the print bed, the way to mount the power supply. All those things are missing from this. Why? This is supposed to be a complete printer kit, and it's missing those parts. They could do a better job on the way they mounted the control board. I mean, it's just a little piece of plastic on one end and a standoff that mounts into the board on the other end to keep it from flopping down and going, flopping up and down. So it's like, really? That's all you did for the control board? I know there are parts on the Thingiverse I can print out to do that, and I will do that later. But I wanted to build basically as close to stock printer as I could. The only thing I didn't do stock when I built this, other than the bed hold down, because there were none, and the power supply mounts, which there were none, was I printed the different bed leveling, which had knobs that I can turn in bed level. So since it has auto bed leveling, I just got it close to what I thought was level, and I let the auto bed leveling take care of it, and it seems to have done a reasonable job. I'm thinking an upgrade later for this, an easy able to go on here. And I'm seriously thinking about that. And that way I can get rid of this stupid little sensor they use. It's basically like a little membrane contact switch. If you put over a vinyl sheet on a panel that had little bubbles, that make contact when you press the bubbles. That's basically what this is. And so that's how it senses where the 0 point is. You mount it on, you put it over the tip of the nozzle, and then when it presses down, it makes contact, and it says that's 0, and that's basically how it sets it. So I did that. It measures a lot of points. I can't remember how many. I think it's like maybe 16 to 20 points that it measures on the printer. And then it comes back and does a last sense of the very center home, just to do one last check as it finishes. But yeah, I'm using the HE3D K280 profile from Simplify, which I got yesterday before I blew up before the power supply blew up. I say I blew up, but I'm not gonna say I blew up because I didn't blow it up. It's just a bad power supply. So there we go. I'm gonna turn off the video, and I'll let this finish printing. And it should only take a couple of hours for this to print, so I may turn back on the video later on just to show the finishing of the print, and then I'll pull the print off the bed and I'll you know, show and tell, right? So I'm not sure how well it's going to pop off because I put glue stick on this glass. I always have problems with things sticking to the glass, so I'm not sure how well this would stick without glue, but I wanted to make sure for my first print that it adhered to the build plate and I didn't have any issues with it not sticking. So I may have to use a spatula or something to get this thing off the print bed, but I'd rather have a successful first print than not have a successful first print. So I printed this at 50% infill, or I'm printing it at 50% infill because it has to hold a 2 kilo roll of filament. So hopefully the layers bond well and I get good strength out of this so that it will support that 2 kilos without breaking. I printed a part before for something to hold the spool holder, and the layers just separated as the weight set on it. So I obviously didn't have it hot enough or slow enough to make sure the layers bonded well. So hopefully this will do well. Anyway, okay, I'll get back later with hopefully near the end of the print to finish it up. And till then,